Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to journey through the story of Esther, a tale of bravery, faith, and divine providence. Let's get started. The story of Esther takes place in the vast Persian Empire, which stretched from India to Ethiopia. It's a time of great power, wealth, and opulence. King Xerxes I, also known as Ahasuerus, ruled over this mighty kingdom. The story begins in the third year of his reign, during a lavish banquet. Xerxes decided to throw an extravagant feast that lasted 180 days, showcasing his wealth and glory to all the nobles and officials. After this grand celebration, he hosted a 7-day banquet for all the people in the capital city, Susa. It was at this banquet that Xerxes made a decision that would change the course of history. Xerxes, in a drunken state, commanded his queen Vashti to come and display her beauty before the people. He wanted to show off her beauty as part of his display of wealth, but Queen Vashti refused to obey. This act of defiance greatly angered the king. In response to Vashti's refusal, Xerxes consulted his advisors. They worried that other women in the empire might follow her example, disobeying their husbands. So they recommended that Vashti be removed from her position as queen. Xerxes, heartbroken but bound by the advice of his counselors, agreed, and Queen Vashti was banished. Now, with no queen, Xerxes sought a new one. His officials organized a search throughout the empire to find the most beautiful young woman to become his queen. This is where the story of Esther begins. Esther, a young Jewish woman, lived in Susa. She was raised by her cousin Mordecai after her parents died. Esther was known for her beauty, but what set her apart was her humility and faith. When she was brought to the king's palace, she followed the guidance of Haggai, the king's servant, and stood out among the women. When Esther was presented to King Xerxes, he was immediately taken by her beauty. The king crowned Esther as queen, placing a royal crown upon her head. But Esther did not reveal her Jewish identity, as Mordecai had advised her to keep it secret. Mordecai, Esther's cousin, worked in the king's palace as a gatekeeper. One day, while sitting at the palace gates, Mordecai overheard a plot to kill King Xerxes. 2 of the king's guards were conspiring to kill him. Mordecai quickly informed Esther, and she passed the message along to the king, crediting Mordecai for the discovery. The plot was thwarted, and Mordecai's name was recorded in the king's chronicles. Now the story takes a darker turn. A man named Haman was promoted to the highest position in Xerxes' court. He was given great honor, and he commanded everyone to bow before him. But Mordecai refused to bow. He was a man of faith, and bowing to anyone other than God was against his beliefs. When Haman learned of Mordecai's refusal, he was enraged. But it wasn't just Mordecai he sought to punish. Haman learned that Mordecai was Jewish, and in his fury, he decided to destroy not only Mordecai but all the Jews in the empire. Haman approached King Xerxes, and using his influence convinced the king to issue a royal decree. The decree ordered the destruction of all the Jews in the empire. It was to take place on a single day, the 13th of the month of Adar. Haman cast lots to determine the exact day. The king, unaware that his queen was Jewish, gave his seal of approval to the decree. Are you curious to know what happened to all the Jews, especially our beautiful Queen Esther? Then you have to come back next week for part 2. See you soon in the next episode.